Hi, I'm Heather. Thanks so much for joining me for Feel Good Flow, a 60-minute practice to help you get energized and motivated and ready for the rest of the day. So if you'd like to join me, we'll start in a seated position for a few moments. We're going to do some breath work. We'll do the alternate nostril. It's great for headaches. It does many wonderful things. It's a great way to just purify your whole entire body. I just like to put my left arm across to prop up my right elbow there. And I'm going to use my right hand, and I'm just going to use my index finger to close off the right nostril, to breathe out to the left, to inhale through the left. And then I'm just going to take my finger to the other nostril, close that off, breathe out to the right, breathe in through the right. And then at the beginning of every exhalation is when you switch. So you'll breathe out, breathe in, and then switch. So you breathing at your own pace. Don't feel like I don't want you to try to follow my breath, my rhythm. And just keep going with that. We'll do about at least 10 breaths here together. So you can close your eyes and feel how the breath is entering your nostrils. Moving down, and feel how the breath is leaving your body. Feel it right from the lungs emptying out. And just feel it come in and out like a nice, slow, steady wave. Steadying the rhythm of the breath will help to steady you as well. Steady you in your body, steady your mind. And this breathing technique, with the element of having to actually focus a little bit more on what you're doing, it definitely helps to focus the mind. Just a note, if you're congested, it is a little trickier. So if you're really congested on one side, don't worry about struggling with this. Just do what you can. Release it if you need to. Let's do maybe 2 more. At the end of this exhalation, you can release. Keep focusing on your breath and notice as it comes in through your nostrils, how that feels now and coming into your lungs. And then releasing it. I'll take one more slow, deep breath in. And a long breath out. This time as you breathe in, let's open up through the arms. We'll bring them up over the head for a nice big stretch. And exhale to release. 2 more times like that. And one more. Good, this time just the right arm lifts up. And as you exhale, you can balance on your left side there and come over. Feel that nice stretch on the right side of your body. Keep breathing here. And the next time you inhale, come back to center. You push with your hand, exhale to release. And as you release, let go and roll your shoulder just a little bit. Opposite direction. And then we'll bring the other arm up. Inhaling, and on an exhale, come over. And stay there for a few breaths. And then as you inhale, come back to center. And exhale, release. One more thing here. So let's now come into a twist. If you want to sit up nice and tall, bring your right arm across, the left hand behind you. Okay. You can be in any position that works with your legs. You can be in that easy pose. Just making sure you're sitting up nice and tall. And then as you exhale, come back out. Come out to center. And we'll go to the other side. And stay here for a few breaths. Feeling that twist right through your ribs and your belly, helping to wake up those organs inside. And then we'll slowly release. Okay. We're going to come out of that position now. We're going to transition to tabletop for a few more warm-ups. We're going to start by having the knees a little wider apart, a little further back. Start with a bit of movement here, rolling through your hips. It's a wonderful way to loosen up right through your hips, your lower back, right up through your shoulders. We'll go in the opposite direction a few times. Keep breathing here. We'll come back to center, and we're going to move the hips slightly to the right, and we're going to look back over that shoulder, the right shoulder. Almost like if you were trying to look for your tail. Come back to center, and we'll shift the hips to the other side, the left side, look over that shoulder. Good. And then we'll come back to center. And this time, as you exhale, you're right in the table pose. We're going to lift the belly up, arch the spine. And on the inhale, slowly look forward. We'll do this 3 more times. Okay. Breathing in and slowly looking forward, chin lifting. Exhaling, chin towards your chest. 2 more breaths like this. Good. This time we're going to do a bit of a coming off the hands. We're going to walk them in towards us, and we're just going to loosen up a little bit more through those wrists. So rolling them out. Opposite direction. And then a little stretch there, pressing your left hand on your right fingers to gently push back. And then we'll do the same on the other side. Good. And then we'll come back down. This time with your hands a little bit further in front. You're going to exhale and slide back through the hips. And it can be kind of halfway between maybe a child's pose and a puppy pose. So you can let your hips come back. Let's slide your arms forward a bit more, feeling a little bit more stretch in your arms, upper arms, shoulders, and upper back. Breathing here. And one more. Good. We're going to slowly rise back up to table. And this time we'll be in a half plank pose. Just lift up through your feet slightly if that's okay for your knees. And we'll rotate through the ankles. Opposite direction. For this one, you may need an extra little padding underneath your knees, but see how that feels. Okay. All right. And then we can come into this pose where you're on your knees, feet lifted, core activated, not letting the belly sink down. And then we'll exhale, come back. And this time, come all the way back into child's pose. And let your hips sink towards your feet. You can widen your knees apart as much as you'd like. Good. Slowly slide those hands in underneath. Push up to sitting. Try the hero's pose just for a moment or two. This can be a tricky one for the knees. If there's some issues there, you want to make sure you do what feels good. You can always put a couple blocks or something between the feet and sit on the front edge of those blocks. It's a beautiful pose to help open up the legs, the ankles, feet. Make sure your toes are pointing straight back. Let's slowly reach up. And exhale. This time, turn your palms to face up with your hands together. And we'll hold for 2 more breaths. And then on your exhalation, slowly release. And just see if you can pull your hands behind you a little bit more. You can come onto the fingertips, opening here through the chest a bit more, lifting up. Good. You can go as far back as you'd like, whatever's comfortable here. And then we'll release. Come back to center, come forward, roll out those ankles and feet again, just to loosen up there. And we're going to curl the toes under and come back. Okay, we're in a bit of a squat. If you do have blocks accessible, and again, if you want to do a different version of this for the knees need you to not be so much in that flexion. You can bring your feet out and just come into this pose. Bring your hands together, or you can be more in the squat. Okay, you do a bit of movement side to side. That always feels nice. We'll stay here for 2 more breaths. If you want to come back a little bit more through your feet, you walk your feet back and hands together. To release out of this one, bring your arms down, slide your feet so that their toes are pointing forward, hip distance apart. Inhale to come halfway up and exhale to sink. Inhaling halfway up. Exhale and sinking. All right, one more time like that. And exhale to sink. Good, feel your whole back of your body opening up here. Sometimes it feels good to even swing the arms a little bit from side to side. Maybe doing a little bit of a twist, bringing one hand up, the other hand across to your foot or leg. Come back to center, and then we'll try the other side. Breathing here. Come back to center. This time we're gonna push down through the feet, come up, but as we come up, we're gonna stay in a bit of more of a chair position, strengthening and helping to build some heat inwardly. Find your version of the chair. And if you'd like, you can also bring your arms up in front. Holding for 2 more breaths. The next time you inhale, we're going to straighten up, reach up through the arms, and open here. Open through the arms, reach them up. My hands are together, index fingers to get pointing up. Arms reaching slightly back. And from here, I'm going to step sideways on the mat. Come into the star pose. Reach out through your arms. And you could start to turn your feet slightly outwards. Good. Opening here for that opening. And on the exhalation, we'll come into the standing squat. Bring your elbows down. Breathing in here. Inhale, opening. And exhale to sink into your goddess squat. Breathing in. And up. We'll do this one more time. Good. Exhaling. From here, inhale, reach through your arms. We're now going to pivot the feet. So I'm going to pivot my left foot towards the left edge of the mat. Back foot in slightly, or towards the left slightly. And we're going to try our triangle today. So if you'd like, come over that leg, reach the other arm up. Find balance here with your legs activated evenly from side to side. You're coming over from your hips. You're not crunching through your, keeping that side long. Stay here for 2 or 3 more breaths. We're going to move this into the arm coming over, extended triangle. And from here, we're just going to reach towards that left foot and come down into a lunge. So you can step your right foot back a little bit more. We'll stay in the lunge for a few breaths. From here, we'll start to look back at that back foot. Lift the hips and slide your front foot back, downward facing dog. Reach and open through your back and hips. So you're opening your wrists, your elbows, your shoulders, getting the weight to lift up, up, up. Off your hands. Good. Slowly come forward now into a plank. And then we're going to slowly lower down onto the belly. We'll inhale, come up into a gentle cobra. And exhale to release. 2 more breaths like that. Elbows in. Engaging the core to lift. And exhale to come down. This time as you come down, slide your hands down, push into them to slide off your belly. And we're going to come back up into downward dog for a moment. And we're going to transition back to the lunge. We're going to bring our left foot forward. So if you need to, from downward dog, drop your knees down and then bring your left foot forward like that. Okay. Or you can spring it forward. I'm going to transition to the center. So walk your hands in between your legs. We'll come into a wide-legged forward bend. Prepare to come up to standing. Plant your feet, bend your knees, hands above your knees there to push and lift, reaching up, back into star. And turn your feet out slightly. Exhale to come down into the squat. Inhale, rising up and opening. Take a big breath in. Exhale. And one more time. Good. Inhale, reach and open. This time we're going to pivot our feet towards the right. Turn that back foot slightly towards the right. Good. Right toes pointing towards the right edge of the mat. I'm going to come over the right leg into triangle, lifting up through that left arm. Just lift it straight up towards the ceiling for now. Balance the weight in both legs. Balance the body, upper body coming over that leg. Find what works for you. You might need to adjust your hips so that it feels right for your lower back, okay? So keep playing around with your position. And if something doesn't feel right, your body will tell you. You want to keep playing around with it and find the right alignment. We'll reach that arm straight over the head. And we're going to come down towards the right side into a lunge. I forgot to tell you, you can always use your blocks for support here if you've got them. Breathing here. Good. We'll hold for 2 more breaths. And then we're going to lift up those hips, look back. It's like we're moving into pyramid for a moment. We won't stay there too long though. We're going to move our front foot back, downward facing dog. Walk those legs out a little bit if you'd like this time. Good. One more breath here. We'll transition forward into plank. If you need to slide your feet back, do that. And then we're going to drop those knees down, come right down onto the belly. Next time you inhale, we'll start to rise up into cobra. We might hold it this time. Instead of coming down right away, just hold that. Find your place here where you're working. Find the right spot so that your lower back isn't unhappy. You want to feel good here. Good. One more breath. And then keep your hands planted firmly down, push down, lift off your belly. Arch your spine for a moment. Come into downward dog. Okay, and then we're gonna, again, bring that right foot forward in the lunge. So remember, different transitions, that can be a really tricky transition. If you need to, drop your knees down first. Come up to kneeling, bring your right foot forward. You slide both hands to the inside of that foot. Come centered with your hands in between the feet. And when you're ready, actually, let's exhale and come down into a forward bend. Good. And then inhale, plant your feet, bend your knees, slowly rise up. And this time we're gonna add a shoulder opener. So we're gonna reach back with the arms. See if you can interlace your hands together. If not, you can always use the belt. And reach, pull back. I'll show you what it looks like from the side. Okay. Holding this for another breath. When you're ready, you could come forward, reaching those arms up. And when you're ready, bend your knees, plant your feet, slowly come back to center. Okay, release your arms, roll your shoulders out. And roll them in the opposite direction. And just let go of that, shake that out. Okay, we're gonna slowly bring these feet together. So if you wanna just walk them in, come into your mountain pose, feeling through your feet from the heels to the toes. Developing a stance where you feel balanced from side to side, even weight. Good. And then we're going to shift to the left foot. So I'm going to shift all our weight. We're going to start to lift up through the right. Just careful here. We don't want to collapse into that hip. This is collapsing. We want to keep just aligned, just like we are if we are standing with both feet on the ground. Lift up through your right ankle. You can always hold on to it here for a few breaths if you need to. Okay, and then we're going to place that foot either on the other foot above or coming into the more of the full expression of the tree. You decide what is right for you today. Every day's a little different. So don't worry if it's not working to have your foot where you normally do. Just find what works for you. Challenge yourself a little bit, of course, but some days we just have to adjust and modify. Reach your arms straight up in the air if you can. Find a focal point. Breathing here. We'll hold for 2 more breaths. Good. And don't worry if you get a little shaky, come out of your tree, go back in. Come down and release. Good. We'll just rock through the feet from the front to the back. Feeling all those connection points. And rock to the side and back towards the center. Bending and straightening your legs. Good. And then coming back to our central position here. Okay, finding your mountain, even and steady. We're going to shift the weight to the right leg again without collapsing in the hip. You want to stay aligned there. It might feel harder, but it is what we need to strengthen and find stability in that hip. Okay. Keep rolling to your foot and ankle. And then place your foot wherever you need to here. On the other foot, try not to look at something moving like me in this pose. Find a focal point that's not moving. Okay. Stay steady here for a few more breaths. You can reach those arms straight up. We're finding balance on this side. It's okay if you're a little shaky. Try to hold for 2 more breaths. And then when you're ready, slowly come back down and release. Good, just walk your legs out a little bit. Okay, and roll your hips. Okay, come back to center. Feeling the right side of your body, left side, and then just along the central axis here from the root to the crown. We'll stay in the mountain for about 2 more breaths. And then we'll come down and we'll come back down to our seat. So here, let's start in the butterfly. Let's bring the soles of the feet together. You can do a little bit of moving here, up and down with the legs, just to, again, just keep those hips open. And this time, lifting a little bit more and with breath as you inhale, lift those knees up. And as you exhale, release the legs down. Okay, don't push too firmly down towards the ground. Just trying to open them a bit more. Inhale up and exhale down. 2 more breaths like that. Good. This time, yeah, come fully into your butterfly pose. We're going to push the outer edges of the feet down into the mat, to the floor. And notice how that might give you a feeling of more space in your hips. From that position, let's come forward, opening the lower back. Okay, and then we'll slowly rise back up to center. This time, just keep the left leg in, and we're going to extend the right leg straight out to the side. Okay, if you have a belt and you want to work with the belt for this one, feel free. We can use it around the foot. The belt just becomes an extension of your arms if you need, but you don't need it. I'll show you without. Okay, I might just, to adjust through the hips, you might sit on a little bit of something to keep those hips open, keep the pelvis neutral. The right leg is out to the side here. Breathing in, reaching up. And breathing out will come over that right side. Okay, we're coming over from the hip crease, from the hips, keeping that spine long. So if you have the belt, you could wrap it around your foot here. If you needed to, you could add a soft bend to the knee. If you don't have a belt, just let your hands rest wherever on your leg. We'll stay here for a couple more breaths. Notice the positioning of your foot. You want to keep that heel centered and the toes pointing in. Okay. This time we'll come up a little bit. We're going to keep our right arm on the leg or on the belt and reach up through the left and come over that side. Okay. Feel your breath here. And when you're ready, you can come back into that forward bend over the leg for a moment. If you can, reach for your toes. And then slowly rise back up. Okay. Sit up nice and tall. This time we're just going to come forward, centering ourselves right in the center here. Keep that foot aligned. And then releasing back to center. Okay. Bringing your left hand down, we're going to start to lean over to the left side to pick up this right leg and see if you can bring your hand to your foot or ankle. Pull your knee back and pull your foot in towards your hip. Okay, breathing here. And then we can slowly release. Let's release, bring that leg in front and go into a twist. So you decide if you want to keep your left leg in that position. You could even straighten out your left leg and just keep the right knee bent here. You decide. We're going to twist to the right so we can wrap around the right knee there. Pausing here for a few breaths. Making sure our sit bones are moving downward at the same time we're lifting up through the upper body. Okay, and we'll slowly release, come back to center, release the legs. Just bring your hands behind you, rocking a little bit from side to side. And you can flop your legs as much as you want. It's a really nice way to loosen up through the hips, the lower back. Come back to center. And you're gonna, if you're sitting on something, come back to it. Bring your right leg in, left leg out. Take a moment and pause, make sure we're lifting up and out of our upper body, staying up nice and tall, breathing in, reaching, and breathing out, coming over that left side. Okay, same thing as last time. Align up your foot, use the belt if you'd like. Try to come from your hip so that you're stretching through that leg. This time we'll come back up, rising up to reach up through your right arm. Okay, and you can come into it, the side bend variation to your place, wherever that is. And then we're going to come back down over that leg one more time. Okay, breathing in, coming back up to center. Breathing out, we're going to bring our right hand down and reach back for your left foot. So you're just sliding your knee back as much as you'd like and bringing that foot in. You can also do a slight pelvic tilt so that your belly comes in. Holding here for about 3 more breaths. And when we release out of this one, we're going to move that leg forward, bring it around. If you can, bring it around so that it's just the inside of your right knee. If not, if that doesn't feel good, you can just extend your right leg straight out. Keep your left knee bent, foot on the floor. Okay. And we'll do the twist to the left, sitting up nice and tall. And hook your elbow around the front of the knee. And stay here for 3 more breaths. And this time you can slowly unravel and come back to center, releasing your legs. We are gonna almost lie down, not quite. We're gonna do one more thing here. We're gonna do a bit of a core strengthening position. So if you wanna come into this pose, this is the beginning of the boat. You're gonna, feel your sit bones and then just slightly shift back. And we don't wanna do this. We wanna lift up. So you can use your hands around your legs, pull back with your elbows. That'll help you create that lift through your core. The front of your body and the back of your body's lifting up, straightening and aligning your upper back, or your whole entire back, I should say. And then if you'd like, just come onto your tippy toes. Trying that, there's definitely various stages of the boat. And you want to make sure it feels okay for your low back. So if you need to come back to here, pull in, pull back with your elbows. Okay, you can try the other foot. Try both feet. Balancing here. And try releasing the arms. 2 more breaths. Come back to whatever position you need to come back to, okay? Eventually we straighten out through those legs. And try the full boat, but we want to make sure the lower back is happy and not mad at us for doing that. Okay, and when you're ready to come down, bring your feet back down, widen your feet apart a little bit, reach with your arms. If you can lift your toes up off the mat and bring your fingers to your toes, and then just gently push down. So I might walk my feet out a little bit here and then start to push down a little bit with the feet. The feet don't have to push all the way down, but it's a really nice stretch for your back. I'm keeping my knees bent here so you can see how bent my knees are. Okay, we'll stay here for 2 more. And then we'll slowly release, come back up to center, start to slowly lower down onto your back. So come onto your lower back first, and then inch your way up your spine. So try to keep that connection through all those points as you lower down. Bring your hands to the back of your head. Hold on to your head there for a moment before it gets to the floor. Bring your feet in towards your hips. And we'll stay here for 1 more breath. When you're ready, set your head down, release your arms, bring your feet in a little bit closer towards your hips. We're going to firmly plant down through those feet and lift up into bridge. And on the exhalation, slowly roll back down. And inhale again, plant the feet and slowly rise back up. If you want to stay here for a breath or 2 before you release. Adjust your head so that your neck is elongating here, chin down towards your chest. And you can slowly roll down, or you can keep holding. We'll do that 1 more time. Use the legs, engage them to lift. And then slowly release down your back. Good. Feel your back connect down to the floor before you hug your knees in. And when you're ready, hug those knees in right close towards your chest. Wrap your arms around them, rock a little bit from side to side. Okay, we'll lower the left foot to the floor, keep that knee bent, and we're going to cross the right ankle over that thigh. You can push a little bit on the right leg before you come into this a little bit more. When you're ready, you can loop your hands behind your left leg. Alternately, if this was a little difficult, you could bring blocks underneath that left foot instead of holding on to it here, holding on to the leg. You could try lifting that leg straight up in the air, the left leg. And then beginning to release, you can slowly release the left leg. Before you release the right leg, just rock a little bit more from side to side. And then you might even rock all the way over to the left and come into a twist. So you can unbind your legs here and just bring legs together, stacked one on top, or you can keep your ankle on the front of your thigh. You can start to press a little bit more on the top of the leg to bring it down so that your foot kind of hooks underneath that left knee. Reach out through your right arm, shoulder stays on the floor. Okay, 2 more breaths here. When you're ready, start to come back to center, releasing the right leg. And we'll bring the left knee in towards the chest. And you can position the left ankle on the front of the thigh. Pushing into it here with your left hand. Breathing, and then deciding if you'd like to go deeper here. Looping the hands behind your right knee. You can also lift that right leg straight up. Good to get an inversion in for the legs. So anytime you're lifting your legs up higher than your heart, helping to stimulate the blood flow, circulation, lymph drainage, reducing swelling, achiness in your leg and foot. And then we'll slowly release. You can bring that foot back down and keeping the ankle on the thigh. If you want to try this, you can rock a little bit side to side, move it just a slight shift from side to side first. And then if you'd like to come into the twist, reaching out through your left arm, shoulder down, finding your expression of this pose. You can turn your head to the left. And just helping maintain that slow, steady pace to your breathing. Just a little help there. Notice when you lengthen out through your exhale, your body releases, relaxes even more. Staying for one more breath. And we'll slowly come back to center. You can release that left leg. I'm going to stay on our back. Preparation for Shavasana. So if you need anything to be comfortable, feel free. You might choose to put something underneath your legs. That's always an option. Just straighten your legs out. And at the same time, release the low back. And let your arms come out, palms facing up, helping to adjust your shoulder blades so they're flattening, widening across your back. Allowing yourself to rest here, to recharge. Just give yourself a bit of time to just be here, not letting the day's tasks rule the mind, not letting time, control what you do right now. Just let go of it all. Even just for a few moments, let yourself just be here, surrendering, releasing, connecting to the present moment. It's the only true moment that really exists. We are more fully alive in the present moment when we're here, connected to it, aware of how we feel, aware of the breath. And just releasing the mind. It can continue to do its thing, but not fixating on anything. Release all effort. Let your body settle deeper through the arms, the hands, the legs and the feet. Feeling through the hips, the belly, right up through the middle of your torso. Through the heart. The throat. Right up to the center of your head, softening your eyes, your jaw, the head, releasing down. Come right up to the crown of the head. Imagine a light just shining down onto the crown, and it's illuminating your entire body. That light shines down and it glows. That glow comes through the entire body and around your body. And you're surrounded by healing light. A high frequency energy that heals your body now. Everywhere. Everywhere in your body's being rejuvenated. Allow that to happen. Stay here for a little bit more. And starting to deepen your breath. Wiggling your toes and your fingers. And doing any last stretch that feels good. Might come into a whole body stretch. And just begin to adjust back. Bending your knees. Again, take your time. Do what feels good. And when you're ready, again, it's totally up to you when you come up and out. Whenever you decide to come back to sitting, take a moment before you release. Take a moment to feel yourself here. And try to continue to come back again and again, fostering that connection to yourself. If you'd like, you can bring hands together at your heart, smiling for a moment. Namaste. I hope you have a wonderful day, and we'll see you again soon.